how you doing? Thank you so much for joining me on Days of Danny and my channel. I hope everybody's doing well on this crazy time that's going on. My family is doing fine, and you know, praying that we all stay healthy. But and I pray that y'all's family also stays healthy. But I'm here to talk about Married at First Sight. Season 10, episode 12. And I'm probably gonna make this quick because I mean it's just, they got couples that are together and shouldn't be together, and I don't even know why they still together, but apparently, you know, we just gotta put a show together. That's how I feel. I really am not impressed with this season. It's just so fake. But anyway, I'll go ahead and start. I'll start with Mika and Michael first. We see Michael and Mika sitting in their living room, and he's sitting there cutting the grass, little fake. I thought it was fake grass, but apparently it must be real. He's like cutting it with scissors, like, and he says he's practicing so whenever they buy a house one day, he'll know how to level out the grass or something. I think he was just trying to be funny and play with his wife, and she was just looking at him like, okay. She was not getting the humor in that at all. So yeah. So they go and see the experts, and Mika meets up with Dr. Viviana. She says to Dr. Viviana, you know, I'm just not seeing any consistency. One minute he's saying one thing, next minute he's lying. I can't get any truth out of him. She says she even asked him, can she see his pay stubs so she can really get an idea or know exactly what he's making, and he never has shown those pay stubs to Mika. And she just says that, you know, it's hard not to be standoffish because she's, you know, being lied to left and right, which, I mean, I get it. You can't be, you want to open up, but then you don't, you know, you still want to protect yourself. So, I mean, and she's extra when it comes to that. So some people can kind of let their guard down but still kind of be secure. She's not that person. She's one that's like, no, I'm gonna give you a little bit, but as soon as you mess up, I'm taking it all back. And that's exactly what she's doing. So, you know, Dr. Viviana says, you know, just try to give him some, I don't know, softness or support that he can kind of come to you. But I definitely understand, you know, why you wouldn't want to be open to him. That, you know, I don't know. In the end, she asks Mika, does she want to stay committed to the marriage? And Mika says yes. Why? I don't know. I mean, whatever. Like, he's lied to you repeatedly. You've only known him how long, and he's already shown you himself. So you want to stay in it? Okay. So Michael goes and sees Pastor Cal. Michael says he can't really be honest all the time, and he knows he's, you know, made some things up, but only because Mika is so hard and just doesn't give him any type of you know, environment that he can trust her with his information. And I'm like, well, that don't mean you gotta lie. Just say you don't want to tell her. And that's exactly what she told Dr. Viviana. Like, you don't have to lie to me. Just say, you know what, I'm not ready to tell you that. That's just, I mean, are you serious? That's your reason? That's your reason? Boy, bye. Boy, bye. You know, Michael says she doesn't give him any type of emotions. She doesn't give him any type of, you know, softness, and that's what he's looking for. So he's looking for a mama. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I think she should be softer, but she can't be softer because you're lying to her. Like, it's an endless cycle. Like, there's no Like, who's going to be soft when you're lying to me? Afterwards, they meet up at the apartment and they kind of go over, you know, oh, I'm sorry. Michael says he wants to commit to her too. But they meet up at the apartment later on and they tell each other, yes, I said I would commit back to you, or commit to you and continue with the marriage, and I'm committed to the marriage. And you know, they kind of tell each other what each other needs, and you know, basically they just want to be comfortable with each other so they can be able to open up. She wants to be able to be comfortable with him and not be lied to. He wants to be able to be comfortable with her and not to be lying. So they basically got it nowhere. They always end the daggone episode with they look like they may be okay or maybe going in the right direction, and in the next episode they're lies and fighting again. So anyway, that was Mika and Michael. The next couple I'll talk about is Mindy and Zach. Zach meets up with Pastor Cal. Pastor Cal asks him, you know, what's going on? How's it been going? He's like, I, you know, had a couple of roadblocks, but, you know, we're still trying to move on. And Pastor Cal says, have you been faithful to Mindy? And Zach's like, he says yes. But, of course, we know, you know, that's, you know, we'll see. And Pastor Cal just kind of looks at him like, are you sure? You know, he says, you know, you haven't been a good husband at all. Are you sure you want to be in this? And are you committed to this marriage? And Zach says, yes, I'm still thinking that, you know, I feel like there's a reason why we put together, and you know, I'm hopeful, and, you know, I still want to move on with being committed to this marriage. You know, okay. Mindy meets with Dr. Viviana. She tells her the situation about Zach having talked to her friend behind her back on the phone or texting and whatnot. And Dr. Viviana just looks at her like, are you freaking kidding me? You can read it all over her face. And she says, you know, he was upset, and Zach says that he has some type of information about her, but he won't tell her what's going on, and, you know, that because it's something that, you know, he won't say, and she's just, you know, she's just upset that, you know, there's the lies, there's the deceit with the friend, he won't move in. And, you know, these are the things that she would have to have in order for her to move on. Dr. Viviana says, well, then that's what you need to tell him. If you want to move on, these are the things that I need. You need to give him a straight up ultimatum. And Mindy says, okay. And she takes that information and she says, okay, I'm going to go, you know, take these demands to him. She goes back to meet up with Zach at the apartment, and they, you know, let each other know, yes, we both said that we will commit to move on and stay in the marriage. And Mindy, you know, tells him, you know, I have demands. I need you to be, her demands were, I need you to be honest and transparent. I need you to, I need to be able to see you off camera. This man only sees her on camera. Are you kidding me? You are married. Regardless of the show, this is somebody you're supposed to be wanting to spend the rest of your life with, and you don't even want to see her off the camera. That's when you really would want to see somebody to get to know them. Are you serious? And she's still looking like, I think there's hope. She also says she wants him to tell her what they talked about, her and her friend Lindsay, and she also says she wants him to move in the house. So he says, oh, I can do that. He was like, he tried to make up some excuse like, oh, well, you know, I do go to bed early and I'm not always here, and I don't want you to feel like I'm just, you know, just being here, and really that's my schedule, and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, I think it's better than anything that you should just move in. And so he was like, all right. So, you know, that's where they ended that. So that was Mindy and Zach. The next couple I'll talk about is Derek and Katie. So Katie, we see Katie and Derek, they're kind of having it out a little bit because Katie is just kind of not understanding why Derek has all these dreams and aspirations and, you know, wants to live his life. I mean, she says we are, you know, wanting to plan to have a family. We're wanting to, you know, be grown, and writing a book and writing a Christmas song is, you know, traveling, you know, around the world is not going to be very, you're not going to be able to do that once you have kids. And he's like, why not? I can still do these things. It may have to take some time. It may take some years. It may take, you know, some rearranging of life, but I can definitely do it. And I don't see why you can't support my dreams. And she's like, oh, you're such a dreamer. That's so immature, and you need to, you know, act more mature. You're always, and oh my God, are you serious? Like, she just was not happy to the point where she went and locked herself in the bathroom and was upset. And Derek was like, you don't want to talk about this? And she said, nope. And so he slept on the couch because of a conversation about him having some dreams, and she can't support them. And because she don't have any freaking imagination or life in her brain to have any dreams of her own. That's the problem. But anyway, so Derek meets up with Pastor Cal, and he's letting him know that they are, you know, in the middle of an argument, and this is what's going on. She's not really supportive of my dreams. And, you know, Pastor Cal, you know, says, you know, definitely that's not something that's hard for her, or shouldn't be hard, difficult to ask of your spouse. He said that just make sure that you are letting her know that, yes, I want these dreams, but I also want us as a married, you know, couple, and show that you are, you know, going to be supporting her also, that's first. Let her know that. And so that's what he took away from that conversation with Pastor Cal. And he does say at the end of it that he is committed. Katie talks to Dr. Viviana, and she lets her know about these dreams that Derek has, and she can't believe it, and he's immature. And Dr. Viviana says, well, I mean, it sounds like he has, you know, a really good entrepreneurial spirit, and, you know, maybe you should try to support his dreams. Maybe. She says, well, I just think that he's immature, and I just don't want, you know, him to forget that, you know, we have a family, or we're trying to have a family, and I don't want to be, you know, stuck with, you know, I guess she did, from what I'm getting, I believe she doesn't want to be stuck with having to deal with children and whatnot, and the whole household by herself while he's off having dreams. And, you know, maybe she's seen that in her life and her, you know, mom and things like that, and she's just not trying to be that person, you know. But, you know, I can kind of, but she's doing it the wrong way. She's doing it the wrong way. And Dr. Viviana says, you know, you definitely should be supporting your husband if he has these things, even though you might not feel like you agree with them, but you still want to support him. She says, okay, I'll try to do that, and I understand. And so they get back to the apartment. They both committed to each other, and they let each other know. And he tells her, you know, you come first. My family comes first, but I still want my dreams. And she said, I understand that, and I'll support you. that was them. That was Derek and Katie. So they seem to have fixed that that situation for now. For now. So the next couple I'll talk about is Jessica and Austin. Jessica, they both, she meets with Pastor Cal, Dr. Viviana, and, you know, basically they don't have much to say. You know, they both are almost have to think of what would be, why would I not say no, or why would I not want to be with her? They want to be with each other, period. They almost had to make something up. She had to talk about that. Oh, he hasn't said he loves me yet, and I really want to say it because I think I love him, but I don't want to say it until he says it. And she's told, you know, go with your heart, do what you want to do. And Austin says, as long as you know, there's no deception, but I trust her, so there shouldn't be no deception. So, you know, they're good. They both say they're committed. They're going to be together, and that's them. They go back to the apartment and tell each other, you know, we're still committed. And, you know, she basically lets him know this is what her concerns were, but like she's already told him that's her concern. And he tells her his concern about the deception, and you know, they move on from there. That's basically neither here nor there. So yeah, that was Jessica and Austin. You know, they're doing great. The last couple I'll talk about is Taylor and Brandon. Taylor meets with Dr. Viviana. She says, you know, she feels like Brandon has walls built up and he really is not trying to let down, you know, what happened. And, you know, Taylor, if he he came to her and says, you know, if he wants to work it out and give it another shot, then she would be willing to do so. So, you know, basically at the end of hers is, you know, she says she's committed also. She just says she wants him to be respectful and respectful behavior, basically, and be consistent in that. Brandon meets with Pastor Cal, and he begins with saying, I can't do this. I can't do it. So, but then the conversation goes to, well, what can we do? What would have to happen for you to get a yes? Like, it's like the backwards. They want them to say yes, but they don't. But if you were saying no, then they talk you into saying yes. If you say yes, then they say, well, what could happen if you say no? It's just like a bunch of bull. But anyway, he says, you know, he feels Taylor is beautiful, intelligent. He felt that in the beginning. But, you know, things changed. She was going out partying with her friends. And she just was not, you know, being the wife that he thought he signed up for. But he says, you know, if she will change those things and be the, you know, a wife that he expects her to be, then he will stay committed to the marriage. They both meet up at the apartment. Well, Taylor is there first, and he comes in. They talk on the couch and say, you know, yeah, I did say I would be committed if, you know, this and this and this will happen. You know, I just need you to not be going out. And she was like, okay, I understand that, but I need you to talk to me and not run away, and be interested in me. And, you know, so they kind of smoothed it over and hugged it out at the end and said that they would try again, which I was surprised, but, you know, they got to stay in it for that check. You know, they seem to be doing well at the end of that conversation. So we see at the end of the episode, the group of girls meet up with Pastor Cal, and the group of guys meet up with Dr. Viviana. Dr. Viviana with a group of guys, they meet up with Brandon. I mean, she asks Brandon, you know, what will make it work? And she says he forgave her, and he will just see if she changes, basically. He didn't say anything about himself changing. She said he will see if she changes. So that's pretty much. They didn't talk about. No, they did ask him. Was he going to move? Zach, was he going to move in? And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm thinking, I'm going to, and I'm going to." Like, he was all around the circle with the answer and never really gave an answer. With the group of girls, or the ladies with Pastor Cal, they went around, and Taylor says, well, Brandon did put on his ring, so that was a start. Mindy and Zach says that Mindy says Zach's supposed to be bringing over a bag, and it's supposed to be spending the night with her. Jessica kind of was like, what? A bag? What do you mean? She looked at her like, isn't that supposed to be your husband? He needs to do better than that. And she said he knew what he was signing up for. I was like, I know that's right, Jessica. She don't take no stuff. Pastor Kyle says you need to go and set the standard. You need to let him know. Do not back, don't back out of what you say. Stay strong and let him know you need to move in. You need to go on with your demands. And she says, okay, I'll do it. So they pump her up. They pump her up real good. Later on at the end of the show, we see Zach come over with his little bag and his little dogs. I mean, Mindy went out and she got the dogs some toys. Well, we see a replay where Zach says his favorite little snack was wings, and she had wings sent to the house. And they sat down and ate wings and talked. And then they get ready for bed. She brushes her teeth, he brushes his, and they're getting ready for bed. And she's like, oh, look at your clothes, and putting his clothes in a drawer. And then she thinks, okay, well, let's go to bed. And he's like, oh, I think I'm going to sleep in the other room. Oh, that poor child. I just said, that's a shame. You can't even sleep in a bed with her. What is wrong with her? Does she stink? Like, does she stink? I mean, something's got to be wrong. I just don't understand. There's got to be something, like, physically that he's just disgusted by, that he can't get past. I just feel that, or something. But anyway, that was episode 12. That was recommitment day. They all recommitted. I don't know why all of them recommitted. Looks like they're all going to go on a retreat next time. So we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens on the next episode. I think it looks like they're going on a retreat. And I don't know. Well, we're going to see where they take it now. But thank y'all so much for joining me this evening. I'll be here next week with the next episode of Married at First Sight, Season 10. And all y'all stay safe. And I can't talk. Stay safe. I hope you all found toilet paper. But please like and subscribe and share my videos. I hope to see you again next week. And y'all have a good night.